Hey everyone, welcome to Craving Something Scary, where it's all horror all the time. Now in this video, I want to discuss Emma Roberts' recent comments about the Scream franchise and if given the opportunity, would she ever consider reprising her role as Jill Roberts at some point in the future. And let me tell you, she did not hesitate in her response. Let's go. So recently, Dread Central interviewed Emma Roberts, and the subject came up about what horror franchises she'd like to perform in. And the headline reads, Emma Roberts is ready to return to Scream exclusive. Is it Jill's time to shine? The article later says, well, recently Dread Central has heard from yet another icon from the ghost face canon. Emma Roberts has told us that she's ready to make her grand Scream return if the franchise will have her, that is. While speaking with Dread Central about her latest chiller, Abandoned, the actor shared her feelings on which horror franchise she'd like to participate in. While she didn't list anything new, the American Horror Story star slyly stated she'd love to return to Scream, citing that she's not done with it just yet. Quote, maybe I'd go back to Scream. I feel like I wasn't done with Scream. End quote. Emma Roberts told Dread Central when asked about what horror franchise she'd love to visit. So there we see it, guys. I find this so fun, so awesome, and so amazing to at least talk about the possibility of Jill Roberts. Yes, the amazing Jill Roberts returning from the ashes of Scream 4. Because let's face it, the way Scream 4 ended, I really do believe that she died in that movie. I don't think she survived the paddles to the head and then the gunshot that followed after that. I just don't see it happening. When the camera panned away from her at the end of 4, you see that her eyes never do blink, and I always take that as a sign that the filmmaker is telling us this particular character is dead when they make sure they let us see their faces with no eye blinks. But again, she did not get tapped to the forehead, which is the number one rule. You gotta shoot him in the head, as Dewey said in 5. That's the number. You gotta shoot him in the head, and that did not happen. So you could make the case that, hey, she wasn't shot in the head, she can come back. And I wouldn't push back on that too hard. I mean, my gut feeling is that she's dead, that she did not survive the events of Scream 4. But if they're going to bring her back, I'm not going to argue about it. I'm not going to complain about it. I'm going to just go with it and enjoy it, because she happens to be my most favorite Ghostface killer after Stu and Billy. I love her that much. I think she was brutal. She was phenomenal. What a depraved person that woman was. She was just out there to the point where not only did she manipulate basically every relationship she had, and they didn't even really mean anything to her, because she's, again, psychopath. She doesn't share those kind of emotions, but she has basically manipulated everyone in her life, even down to the point where she's hurting herself, unlike Billy and Stu, where they were stabbing each other, to make it look like they were going to be the lone survivors and all that. But this was completely different. She didn't have someone doing it for her. She did it to herself, which was just another level of brutal, if you ask me. And I absolutely loved Jill, and I would love to see where this could go. And then that begs the question, like, what would she do if she came into Scream 6 or Scream 7? What possible role would we see for Jill in this movie. Like, how would they work her into the script where it would make sense and it would let us know as an audience that she's there? Because, I mean, while it would still be cool to get a reveal at the end, of course, it also would be cool if we knew that she was there and we could see her, you know, in scenes and not just save it for the last of the movie. So then how do you do that? You know, because remember, this, if there was a time that she was going to come back, like if you were going to bring her back into the franchise, the time is right now with the return of Kirby Reed. Because Kirby coming back definitely opens that door because, you know, of course, Kirby's from Scream 4, just like Jill. So it would be quite a pairing to have Kirby back in 6, and then at the end, we have the big showdown with Jill one more time and Kirby. Or maybe we've been talking about having a Ghostface reveal done earlier in a film, like at the midpoint of a movie versus the end point. And we still have more reveals to come who the accomplices are. But maybe we have a situation where Jill and Kirby go at it at the middle point of the movie. And Jill is absolutely 100% killed and unmasked one final time. And then we find out later on who the accomplices are at the end. That could be a possibility. But the big question is, what would she be doing? Because we always kind of go back to our kind of our fallback position is college professor, you know, that kind of thing. But I don't know. I don't necessarily think that would be the case for Jill. I think that I could see if she is back in 6 or 7 and she's not one of these, you know, trying to be good people, I could just see her lurking. She could just be around, and, you know, maybe Kirby's been in hiding all of this time. Maybe it's like a Scream 3 type deal where Sydney was in hiding and they were wanting to find her out where she lived, remember? Maybe that's what we're dealing with here. Maybe we have a different kind of scenario, but similar as well, where Kirby's been hiding out and trying to be safe and not get killed anymore, you know? And then, you know, here you got Jill out there who's just been waiting for the opportunity for Kirby to come back, you know, the lone survivor, other than, you know, the OG, of course. And Dewey's gone now, so it just leaves her really with Sydney and Gail, and Sydney's not going to be in this one. So it does at least give some more motive, but Kirby would be the big part of it. And that's what I'm thinking could be the difference maker. And the day and age we live now, guys, you know, fan service and all these things, that's the times we're living in. I personally, again, would not hate it if Jill was to make a return back. Do I think she's going to come back? I'm still going to venture out and say no. I don't think she's going to be back for Jill, you know, but I'll say it this way. If they bring her back, I will not complain. I will enjoy seeing that character again on the big screen, just as I am Jill. I mean, just as I am Kirby, rather, and Gail. So we'll see what happens, guys. But listen, I'm going to leave it there for now. But I want to know what you think about this interview with Emma Roberts and about her being open to returning to the franchise. Do you think we'll ever see it happen? I want to know what you think. So start leaving your comments below right now, and we'll discuss them together. Well, that's going to be it for this update, guys. But I'll be back soon with more Scream and other horror movie content. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And until next time, this is Craving Something Scary, where it's all horror all the time. Thank you for watching.